Hello, Acers, and welcome to this week's Ace Role Playing Games Club. I'm your host, Mason Emerson, and I'm glad to have you back with me again this week. This week, I'm obviously getting prepared for my FanX presentations. There will be 4 events that I'm doing, 3 panels and the 1 workshop. So come join me if you can for any of those. Again, those panels are Thursday night at 7 p.m. I have So Thursday the 26th at 7 p.m., I am starting with my Savage Worlds on Trial, or introducing Savage Worlds to the masses here in Salt Lake City area. I am adding that one in, or I was able to add that one in as part of an arrangement with Croy. Thanks, shout out to you, Croy. But basically, the short version is going to be, I am putting I'm putting Savage Worlds on trial by D&D. So I'm going to have the green and all 3 of the 5e books sitting at one table and kind of propped up. And then over at the other table, I'll just have the Lone Savage Worlds book. And my friend Ethan is going to be the lawyer for D&D. I'm going to be the lawyer for Savage Worlds. We're going to have my friend Jay be the judge. My friend Mike unfortunately can't make it this year. He's been great to have on the panels before, but we might be able to get my other Mike friend to be the lead juror. Otherwise, we are going to truly have a 12-part jury trial and have to have the judge instruct them. You are to look for ways that Savage Worlds meets the criteria and does not encroach onto the space of D&D. Because my ultimate argument in the end is going to be, if you want something that feels like D&D, play D&D. But if you want to play anything else, play Savage Worlds. Because, come on, you can't really do good sci-fi with D&D, with the 5e rules. You can't do good sci-fi. I didn't say you couldn't do sci-fi. You just can't do good sci-fi. You can't do good modern. You can't do good spy modern. I mean, you could do good D&D style in the Dungeons and Dragons world, spy modern, spy period stuff. That'd be fun. And even the new core rulebook actually has guns in it, but they really don't make sense. And there's a lot of shoehorning it to get it in there. I'm not impressed. I mean, it's just kind of, I guess in a lot of ways it's just kind of like getting hit with a spell, but and I guess you could work in ways of, to me, a gun, depending on where it hits you, could do anywhere between 1 to 1,000 hit points of damage, depending on the caliber and all that other kind of stuff. Savage Worlds it's just native in there. It can do 2d6 of damage if it's a handgun, or 2d8 if it's a rifle, or so forth and so on. Like, yeah, there's just a lot better calibration in there. Also, there's a really good setup in there for handling powers. And I kind of mentioned that in the video today. But like I said, if you want your powers to be spelled out for you, then get D&D. But if you want to be able to fill in and make your own version of the power, play Savage Worlds. So that's Thursday night, 7 o'clock. So it's 26, 7 o'clock, and that's in room 150D as in Delta. Then on Friday afternoon, from 4:30 to 5, from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, is in room, that's room 225D as in Delta. I'm going to be doing one on immersive gaming. And this one's going to be a lot more audience participation and interactive, because I want you guys as my audience to feed me, and we'll just discuss. We'll have a great discussion. That's what I'm there for, is I'm there to moderate a discussion. Then Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, so I'll be set up by 10:50, but Saturday morning at 11 o'clock, I will be in there to do a 2-hour workshop building one sheets. and everybody's going to get a chance. I'm going to bring in my brick of Post-it notes and my Sharpies, and everybody gets to write out their ideas, and they can work solo or as a team. I would, I actually, I'm going to let them work as a team unless they absolutely come to me and say, "Hey, can I work solo? I've got an idea for this already." So that one's in there. And then finally at 2 o'clock that afternoon, I will be doing 50 years of D&D. Now, I've got some great panelists that are going to be on there with me, good friends of mine, and I'm excited to be doing these. One of the things, though, that I am kind of, I'm looking at the schedule there. I'm going to try and get into some of these other times to see some of the other panels and see how I could possibly do another Savage Worlds panel that isn't like a trial, to just find other ways of presenting the information about Savage Worlds. But because, I mean, next year it's 22 years old. I mean, this year it's 21, so it's old enough to drink if it wants to. But, I don't drink, so I wouldn't know. Anyway, that's going on. Now, the week of that, so that's my Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Wednesday that week, I'm going to be running a friend's RPG game, a local friend's RPG game. And that's going to be Wednesday night. And then Monday and Tuesday that week, I'm going to be actually lecturing at Ensign College. So I've got a packed week that week. I'm just going to probably hit the bed on Saturday night and just pass right out. Hopefully I hit it before 1 o'clock. Duh! I am so tired of being tired. Anyway, my job search is still going well. If you know anybody who's looking for an amazing project manager, scrum master, or agile coach, or anybody who's looking for anything in that realm, or would like a consultant to come in and help them improve the flow of their business, hit me up. My email address is in the contact information. So that said, I've been thinking about the fact that because I've been playing, I played a ton of Baldur's Gate 3. Well, at least a ton for me. Yesterday. I kind of actually got everything restarted, and I figured out that raiding party that's in the other room when you open the door, they are pretty vicious. But maybe that's just because I'm keeping myself trapped in the room, trying to get them to come in as a choke point, instead of trying to get out there and get them with things. But my initiatives are all really low on all my characters, so I'm trying to figure that out. But I'm going to, because I tried sneaking in, and then I tried a couple other things, but I'm getting my butt kicked in that first crypt thing, or the vestibule off the crypt, or factory. That's what it's called. But yeah, I'm playing a human fighter. Really original, I know, but I decided to make him a halberdier, so I've got him with kind of longer, wavier version of what I've got, and he's got a nice curled mustache and a chin beard, so he looks like a cavalier. So that's kind of what I'm going for. And right now I've got to do a little search because I think this character might not have it yet, but there's a glaive I found in one of the other rooms, and that glaive is going to make an awesome polearm for him. Although I kind of wish it could have been a halberd, but that's okay. So what is it about Baldur's Gate 3 that I like so far? I mean, I like the way I loved Baldur's Gate 2. I played a lot of that, but never beat that either. And I really think that Baldur's Gate, the game series that I've played, is pretty cool. I mean, I even played a little bit of Neverwinter Nights. I played a lot of that when it was first out. I think I even own Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and Neverwinter Nights on good old games. So it's kind of a cool thing to be able to play those. But I have to say that I am just not... I mean, I like the digital role-playing games. They're fun. It's kind of nice to be able to play by yourself. Kind of nice to be able to control your party and things like that. But I don't necessarily like playing them on computer when I can play them in real life. Now, I don't count playing virtual, so playing through like Google or whatever, I don't count that as playing on a computer. I'm using the computer as a tool to play it, but I'm not playing it on a computer. We're still playing it, even if the dice are controlled on the computer. We're still playing it in real life. And that's one of the things that I like about it. And I like the fact that Baldur's Gate 3 actually allows you to play multiplayer, so you can sort of do that. But I don't know, I just for me, I'm jazzed by it. It's a lot of fun. And my buddy Ethan loves the game. He thinks it's the greatest video game ever made. And it could be. One thing that I have to say is I do look forward to getting it on my computer, because then I can start getting some of the mods, because I don't like the fact that I tried building a knowledge domain cleric and I couldn't take Toll the Dead. Toll the Dead, in my opinion, is one of the coolest cantrip spells in D&D. And you know, I would have to look into it on my computer here, but I don't know that I would know how to rebuild that same spell as a spell in Savage Worlds. And so that might be one that, hey, is unique there. I would have to look into the powers, and maybe that's one that I could try recreating, because you're after a spell that does basically, it does so much damage. It does not bad damage when it's just cast regular, but when it's cast on something that's already injured, that is just, and it's a cantrip. And apparently there's some whole new breakages that have come out through the new 2024 edition, the 50th anniversary edition of D&D. And like I said, still not that impressed. And I do compliment Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast for releasing those core rules for 5e as Creative Commons. That was really cool of them. However, it's too little too late. They're doing this to try and make up for the fact that we right now don't like them. They want our money, but we don't want to give them our money, because all they've been doing is trying to just get more out of us. They raised the prices on some of the later books. They fired or laid off most of the staff who created this new 2024 edition. They're trying to do some really shady, shoddy practices to make it so this D&D Beyond, or whatever, or D&D 1, or whatever their TTRPG setting is supposed to be, they're trying to make it so that's the key go-to. And I think they're going to try and pull the rights away from other TTRPGs. Not TTRPGs, but VTT things. They're going to try and do all sorts of things like that, because right now a Megacorporation controls it. And, you know, we who play cyberpunk games already knew it was coming. And on a side note on that, I found a really cool cyberpunk game that is you playing a hacker, and it's called Bitburner, and it's free, and it's on Steam, and I am totally learning little bits of how to do JavaScript coding and how to understand and how to read and parse that stuff, and it's pretty cool. Admittedly, yes, I'm also doing what other good programmers do, and that's go out and find scripts on the web or use ChatGPT to clean up your scripts. So yes, I do that too, but that's kind of cool that we're able to build that. But anyway, that being said, I really would love it if Hasbro would let D&D alone. Let WotC hire their people and not worry about cost centers and pleasing the shareholders and things like that. That's what's causing so much of the corruption of our supply chain. It's the reason why when we win with our publishers like Pinnacle on the publication of something, that we get that we still have to wait months, if not over almost a year, to get our books, because they're all being printed in China, and then they're being shipped on shipping containers back over to the United States, and then they sit in ports for weeks and weeks and weeks, and they either get put on rails, which are having a hard time as it is, or they get put into trucks, which there's still a hard time getting that to flow too. And it's all been broken. I mean, the pandemic just amplified it, and it showed how broken it really was, that we've put all of our reliance over there. And so these are just things that I'm learning about. There's a book that I'm reading right now called How the World Ran Out of Everything. And it's pointing out a lot of those supply chain problems. And that's something that's probably not a good idea. But that being said, I do want to, if you haven't seen my live unpacking video, let me show you these real quick. I did get, finally, read previous rant on shipping problems, my Necessary Evil. This is the map pack, and the whole core set rule, with all the rule books for, or all the setting books for Necessary Evil. And I think that's the next one I'm going to really bone up on. I'm going to finish boning up on Pine Box, Texas Middle School. That's going to be definitely happening. But I think Necessary Evil is where I'm going to go next. So I just, like I said, just wanted to talk a little bit about those. And yeah, like I said, I like that D&D has been around for 50 years. And that as goes D&D, so goes the industry. I mean, my suggestion for D&D, if they really want to actually stay relevant and actually continue to sell new things and everything like that, they should completely revamp the rule system. They should completely tear it down to zero and build again from zero, like they did with 3rd edition almost. But there's a lot of things they still kept in there. But do it, because basically 4th edition was kind of trying to go more towards the video game crowd, and so it didn't quite follow 3rd edition. And 3.5 was, popular enough, but that really, it turns out that caused the whole D20 system crash. And then going back the other way and kind of taking 3rd edition and making it 5th edition and bringing back a lot of what everybody loved. But if they would use other companies the way Adobe uses other companies to workshop ideas they have, then that might be an idea. That might be a good idea for D&D. So, like for example, Adobe Photoshop did not have a clone tool until it was invented by people who added it into the GNU image manipulation program, GIMP. And then Adobe copied the idea out of there, and they let GIMP workshop it entirely. And then you can do the same kind of idea with not only GIMP, but with or like D&D could do it with Savage Worlds. They could watch and keep an eye on things, and then just grab ideas. What if D&D did a system that actually could natively handle guns and could natively handle any genre, make more of an engine like Savage Worlds, and then just started producing their own setting books for it? Or what if they, if they still want to kind of keep the more D&D feel, fine. But what if they did do more setting books? Like, what if they did one for Forgotten Realms, one for Dragonlance, but updated them all to the current core rules? And you know what? Keep putting them out every time. Every time they upgrade the rules, put out a new set of Dragonlance. I mean, that's what they should be doing. They shouldn't be trying to distance themselves from different worlds. Put out a new Oriental Adventures box set every time they put out a new set of rules, so that you still need the core D&D rules to play Oriental Adventures. Or even if they've still got ties with Five Rings Publishing, I don't know if they do anymore or not, but put out Rokugan. So, these are just ideas that I have, because D&D, you're getting long in the tooth. And I would hope that you can improve from that. Well, that's my go for today. I hope you found something valuable here. And I want you to know that I love you. You guys are the reason I'm here every week. And I absolutely love you. And there is somebody in this world who does. And that and the game group you're building and the friends that you're making who are going to support you through your hard times is why I hope to see you at my table. Until next time, remember the world is a greater place with you in it. This is Mason Emerson for Ace Role Playing Games, signing off.